We live in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Part of our lives today, social media, and particularly Twitter. And you've a positive story about Twitter.
And I know you yourself have mixed experiences and feelings about Twitter and Facebook, but it is probably the most popular social media out there, and it can be negative, it can be positive. But I came across a group of people yesterday who put their experiences on Twitter to good use, because I was in the Westland Hotel, and what was happening there was 140 strangers from all over the country gathered, wearing their Christmas jumpers, and they were going to learn a Christmas song, and they were going to record it. It's going to be available to download on iTunes on the 9th of December, and all the money raised is going to go to Console, which is, as you know, an excellent charity. And if I can just set the background of it up, November last year, 2011, a woman called Brenda Drum sent out a tweet saying she had an idea. Would people on Twitter like to get together and record a Christmas single? And she just put it out as a kind of a bit of a, just throw it out there. But she was inundated with people saying, actually, you know what, that's a really nice idea. So they all got together. They did this. They recorded a single. It went to number 1 on the iTunes chart.
Really?
Only to be knocked off by Rihanna a couple of days later. And it raised money for their chosen charity that year, which was Unit 8 in Holles Street, which is for the premature babies. So it was really good. And again, they were all strangers coming together, but all wanted to do something really positive. So I'd heard about it, and it did make a bit of an impact. So I decided I'd go and meet them yesterday. So we had them all there in the room, and they were learning a new Christmas song, an original Christmas song. It's written by, the music is by Ian Callanan, and the lyrics are by Brenda Drum, this kind of unstoppable force, with some help from her friends, as she calls it. And they were learning the song, and they were going to record on the same day, and it's going to be available soon to download, as I said, and it is going to a charity. But I walked into the room, and I have to say it was such a laugh and really uplifting, because they were all wearing the most ridiculous jumpers. So a couple of people even had Christmas lights around their neck. They had hats. They were in great spirit. And again, you know, they were all strangers who really wanted to do something positive. So just to give you a sense of them and of Brenda, I had a chat with them all, and I started by saying to Brenda what happened to her last year when she sent out a non-drunken tweet in the first place to put this Christmas single idea together.
Around this time last year, I tweeted, wouldn't it be great to have a Twitter Christmas single? No idea that anybody would even read the tweet, let alone respond. But respond they did. And within 1 week of me tweeting the tweet, we had 140 characters, rather like today, who joined us in around the same time, same place last year. And we recorded the first ever Twitter Christmas single.
And why do you think it captured the imagination of people? What was it?
I think it was, Twitter there's a lot of bad publicity around Twitter. A lot of people call it an antisocial network. And I think that there can be a lot of negativity and a lot of bile and sort of vitriol on it. But I think people just said yes. It was a good cause. Last year we did it for the neonatal unit. It was for the tiniest babies, and that was a wonderful cause. And people are, they're always very sort of, I suppose, the tugs at the heartstrings, when you're talking about that. But I think it captured something very positive from Twitter. It was goodwill, it was generosity, it was great crack to do last year, and it's sounding and feeling like it's going to be as good crack this year. It was something very unique as well, and it brought the best of sort of the Christmas spirit to life in a virtual world, but it brought it to life in the real world.
Now I'm looking at your motley crew here with their Christmas hats on and everything. And I'm wondering, right, how do you know who can sing and who can't sing?
It's called auto-tune. No, we don't use auto. I think choirs are very forgiving. All God's creatures have a place in the choir. They certainly do in this one anyway. And for the solo parts, it's not about picking sopranos, alters, tenors or bass singers. It's about picking ordinary voices. I don't like using the word ordinary people, because all of the people who've come here today are quite extraordinary to give up their time and to take part in something like this. And we're doing it this year for the most wonderful charity, very timely. We hear every day about tragic deaths of people from suicide. So we're joined up with Console Ireland this year, who do the most incredible work, and we're so thrilled that they said yes to our madness, and we're just delighted to be working with them this year. And all the crack, all the fun, all the Christmas goodwill while ultimately it's all about raising awareness and hopefully raising a few bob as well for Console.
Right. You have a broad spectrum of people here. Where have they come from? What have you heard so far?
So far, well, we have a lot of people from Dublin, Cork, Carlow, Kildare, Newbridge. We even have some people from Obama Land, from Mooney2, people from Laois, people from over the west, people from Cavan. I probably said that, Meath.
Brenda, thank you very much, but I would like to meet some of those who have made the effort to be here today. Eileen Bird, tell us about your journey here today.
I started off from the northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, Ohio airport.
What?
From Ohio.
To be here today for this?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Well, explain why and what your background.
Well, Ian and I have been friends for many years.
Okay, and Ian is our musical director here today. Yes.
And I've been seeing things and hearing about this from last year. And I just saw it on Facebook and heard about it on Twitter. And I wanted to be a part of it all.
Has it let you down so far?
Not at all. The appeal is what you see before you. And it's everybody getting together in the spirit of Christmas, in the spirit of giving, and sharing not just music, but to benefit the people that need it most.
Well, Eileen, lovely meeting you, and safe back to Ohio. Tynan Hooper, you didn't have to travel that far to be here today and part of this choir.
No, I didn't, only down the road. I was involved last year. I saw that famous tweet that Brenda sent out last Christmas, came along, and it was the most magical experience I've ever done. It was, first of all, it was an amazing experience to be part of a group that came together for a charity. It was a spectacular day, so I knew this year that I had to come back and be involved again. And to be involved in an extra single in Ireland that was very spontaneous and led to meeting such amazing people. I made some amazing friends last year, so it's almost like a reunion this year coming back. Look, it makes you smile, and we all have horrible things going on in our lives, and what's wrong with coming together for a day to sing for a charity and make yourself smile for the day?
Well, I think that's a lovely sentiment. But I can't let you go without describing for our listeners your jumper.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. It's basically Santa's costume on a jumper. I ended up buying this particular jumper for my entire family last year, and on Christmas morning they all had to wear it. So there was all 6 of us in the same jumper.
Can I just ask, you bought 6 different jumpers? It wasn't one jumper and you all fitted in?
No. Yeah, no, it was the same jumper, but the same style. It's from 70 years old down to 12, so it was pretty special.
Oh, well, I have to say you've captured the Christmas spirit for me, and you're getting me in the mood. Thank you very much, Tyler, for Christmas. That is okay. Brenda Drum, my own namesake. Yes. The best of luck to you. I can tell from just meeting everybody here, they think the world of you. You're one of those people, aren't you? Isn't she? Very inspirational. So holding on for Christmas, when will we hear it?
You'll have to hold on till the 9th of December, and we want people to please buy it, please support Console Ireland and the literally life-saving work that they do.
All right, everybody, have great fun and happy Christmas once more.
Holding on for Christmas, hold on to love, watching out for Santa's sleigh, joy and celebration, laughter and cheer, feel the magic in the
I have to say, Brenda, it sounds absolutely wonderful.
It's kind of catchy, isn't it?
It is.
I've heard it a few times now. Now, we can't play the whole song because if we did, we'd be getting in trouble from the great one that is Larry Gogan, because he's the one who plays the first Christmas single, but just a little idea of it. And they're only learning the single. And we have our pictures up on the Mooney website of the actual recording of it. And as I said, it's available from iTunes and also other online music stores from the 9th of December. Costs about 99 cents. And all the money, apart from what iTunes charge, goes directly to Console. So, why not? That was a positive experience of Twitter.
Absolutely. But before we talk about Twitter, because Brenda Drum is a native of Ohio, and she gathers 140 strangers here in Ireland.
Well, no, Brenda Drum is from Kildare.
Oh, she's Kildare. Oh,
but
sorry.
There was a woman from Ohio who was following her on Twitter.
And that's how it came over.
All right, okay. From Ohio, which is extraordinary,
Yeah, that's amazing.
Amazing.
And she came over to participate in this particular...
on the single, which is extraordinary. But they came from everywhere in Ireland as well. They all made a special effort that day. Most of them didn't know each other. And then, from what I could gather, there was tremendous sense of crack and fun and enthusiasm in the room.
Well, it shows you the positive effects
Yes.
of Twitter and that social interconnection. And I know we've got texts coming in. What does Marty think of the fake Marty Morrissey on Twitter? That's from Robert in Kilkenny. Good afternoon, Robert. Well, initially I have to say I thought it was good fun, but unfortunately it crosses the barrier, crosses that line anymore, and I'm not at all pleased.
There is a fake Marty Morrissey
there
account.
is. And it's actually unacceptable anymore. And I've said this when I was doing an interview with Ryan Tuberty before on 2FM. And I don't mind a bit of fun and a bit of crack, but when it crosses the line and it's unacceptable, then to say the least, I'm not happy about it. You know.
Do people think that it's your opinions that come out on this fake? I mean, have people not made the distinction between this is a parody, this is actually the wonderful Marty Morrissey actually saying these bizarre kind of out there things?
Well, you see, the thing about Twitter that it encourages parodies so that somebody can actually pretend to be me, but once they have the parody written on the top of their Twitter account, then it becomes fair game as such.
They get away with it.
They get away with it. Now, I have started the process of stopping it because it is now becoming a problem for me, because people do think that what's written on Twitter in this account are my views and my feelings, which they're not. I have my own Twitter account, which is Marty M lower, what's it called? What's the
Case?
Lowercase and RTE, and that has something like 12,000 followers, while my fake parody has 53,000 followers. But I would wish that it would stop, to be perfectly honest. But I saw a positive effect of the Twitter when I was following the boxers in Turkey when they were trying to qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah.
And there was only a few of us over there. And every time that Paddy Barnes went into the ring, I was able to tweet instantly how his rounds were going, so that the people here at home could say, oh, Paddy Barnes is winning, I have it on Twitter. And that's the beauty, very much like what you've brought to us here today.
Well, I think for you, on a personal level, that must be very difficult.
Yeah,
because
it's
I think, for anybody listening to the show, it's not Marty.
No.
Not that parody. It's not you.
No.
So that's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fun and I love the crack, but
I know.
when it gets to the stage where it crosses that line, then it does become unacceptable. But it is part of what we are now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that there was another one where some fan criticised Brian O'Driscoll and Brian retweeted it, and then other fans got onto the fan who criticised Brian's performance. And obviously, in fairness to it kind of snowballed and was unfortunate, because in fairness, every fan has a view and they're entitled to give it.
I know.
So it is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure that social media and Twitter, I'm sure we're going to get a lot more texts and indeed tweets later on. Just before we head to the 4 o'clock news, let me tell you a really nice story that we got in here from Liam Harbison. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the Irish Paralympic Sport, about Orla Barry. Because Orla, in the discus event, won a bronze medal in the Olympic Stadium. But because it went on so late, the victory ceremony wasn't going to take place until the following morning at 9 o'clock. But lo and behold, her parents didn't have any tickets to the Olympic Stadium the following day, so they were distraught. Eventually, Liam, he tried all his contacts. He rang Orla's mum, Nuala, with the bad news, but said he'd stick the message on Twitter. Last Chance Saloon at 1:30 a.m. He received a message via Facebook at 2:30 in the morning from a lady who had one ticket. He responded by saying he'd meet her at 7 a.m. He did, and he had one ticket. But by 8:30 a.m. the following morning, this young lady had 2 tickets for Orla's parents, who ran to see their daughter receive her Paralympic bronze medal. This girl was a young lady from Enfield, County Meath, teaching in London. She was bringing a group of school children to the games and gave the tickets for 2 kids that didn't show up to Orla's parents. She can't remember the women's names, but the Barrys were delighted. Now, isn't that a positive story about the effect of Twitter?
Yeah. That is a great story.
Yeah, so well done to that young teacher from Enfield in County Meath, because obviously for Orla Barry's parents, not alone did she win a bronze medal, but to see her receive her medal in London's Olympic Stadium was I mean, so important to them, and indeed to Orla, that they would be there.
Well, it is an extraordinary moment for any parent. I mean, God, if you miss anything, whether it's a communion, confirmation, birth, you go mental. So you can imagine what it'd be like to miss an Olympic medal. So well done to that teacher in County Meath.
By the way, earlier I said I give up my Twitter account, but do you know what, Brenda? Didn't I give it wrong? Obviously, I'm not technically minded. It is Marty M _ RT_. You have a Twitter account, haven't you, Brenda?
I do, Brenda. At Brenda Donohue, Donohue.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah.
Donohue.
Yeah.
That's our Brenda. That's you can tweet and give us your thoughts on the Mooney show as we're live here on RTE Radio 1.